Hi everyone, welcome back to our final home learning video for this week. This one is set day 4 and 5 because it will take you a couple of days to do the work that I have set in this video. So let's get started finishing off the story. So if you remember, his son had come running into the room. This is what happens next. Silence. His son was silent. The boy's golden arms were still hooped around Midas's knees. His little golden mouth was open, but no sound came out. Midas ran to his bedroom and locked the door, but he could not sleep that night, for the pillow turned to gold under his head. He was so hungry, so thirsty, so lonely, so afraid. "Oh, you gods, take away this dreadful wish! I never realised." There was a clip-clopping of hooves, and the satyr put his head through the window. "I did try to tell you," he said. Midas fell on his knees on the golden floor. His golden robe clanged and swung on him like a giant bell. His tall cap fell to the ground like a metal cooking pot. "Take it back! Please ask the gods to take back my wish," he begged. "With ears like that, I think you've troubles enough," said the satyr, laughing loudly. "Very well, go and wash in the river, but do remember not to be so silly another time." King Midas ran through the long grass, pushed his way through the long reeds, and leapt into the river. The ripples filled with gold dust, but the water itself did not turn to gold, nor did the river bank as Midas pulled himself out. He was cured. He carried buckets of water back to the palace and threw them over the little golden statue in the dining room. And there stood his little son, soaked from head to foot and starting to cry. By the time the grass had grown tall in the fields, and the reeds by the river were taller still, when the wind blew they rustled. When the wind blew harder they murmured. When the wind blew harder still they whispered. "King Midas has long ass's ears." And on some windy days the reeds sang so loudly that everyone heard them from miles around. "King Midas has long ass's ears." And that is how King Midas's secret is known to us all today. Okay, let's have a look at what we're going to do now. So this is your task now for the next 2 sessions. So you can split this over 2 days, or maybe if you really weren't wanting to work all on one day, maybe split it across a morning and an afternoon. Okay, so you're going to create a storyboard to retell the story of King Midas. A storyboard is a series of pictures and sentences to retell the key points of the story. It looks a little bit like this. Okay. So you've got each of the parts of the story split up into 6 boxes. You put a picture in the larger box of what's happening in that part of the story, and then underneath you put a couple of sentences to explain what's happening in that part of the story. Make sure you're using your conjunctions in those sentences if you can. Okay, so your first job is to try and split the story into 6 pieces, into 6 sections, 6 main parts. Decide what you're going to have across all 6 boxes. Okay. And then you need to spend 2 lessons completing your storyboard. So the first day, split the story into 6 key parts and maybe write your sentence or 2 to explain that part. And then maybe on day 2, draw your picture in the box to illustrate that part of the story. So you could do it that way. Or you might do the first 3 sentences on one day and the next 3 sentences on a different day. Okay, but I would make sure your pictures are really neatly coloured in, that you try not to leave any white spaces in the box. Make sure you've thought up some really good sentences that clearly explain what's happening in that part of the story. Spend quite a bit of time thinking how to split it into 6 key parts. What do you think those 6 important parts are of the story? Okay, so it definitely will take you 2 of your lessons this week to finish this off now. And then I look forward to seeing it. Don't forget, you can send it to me by my email or by the school's Twitter account at Newlands_PS. You can send me any of the rest of the work that you've done this week. You might be saving it all up to the end of the week too. Okay, so that's all for our English work this week. Stay safe, have a good week, keep working hard, and I'll see you soon for some more English learning. Bye for now.